So guys, the game finished 6-3. I'm going to make this video purely because I have some things I just want to talk about. I love talking about football. I could talk about football for days, especially when it involves Arsenal. But today something happened that really sucked. It really sucked. And I thought I should really talk about it because a lot of people have certain views on what happened today at the Man City game. And I just want to talk about how I'm feeling. So I guess to kick off the video, my prediction was way off. They absolutely dominated. They really did. They have such a good team at City, and especially at home, they are unstoppable. I mean, the amount of goals they've scored, what is it? I think it's something like 30-something at home, which is, I think, more than most teams have scored both home and away. It is incredible, the record they've got at the Etihad. And I'll be honest, guys, I made that BPL breakdown last night, and I predicted a 0-0. I said I think it'll just be one of those boring games where both teams cancel each other out. But when I woke up this morning, it hit me, and I realised, oh yeah, we're playing at the Etihad. There's going to be goals. And to be honest, right, Arsenal scored 3 goals. You got to be honest, that isn't easy at the Etihad Stadium. Not many people go there with 3 goals. And if you had told me before the match started today that Arsenal will score 3 goals, I would have said, well, we'll win them, won't we? But City got 6. I mean, some of the goals we conceded were not good. We didn't get very lucky with the officials today. I thought some of the decisions were very poor, but you can't constantly blame referees and linesmen for mistakes. It's a very difficult job. You've got to give them respect for doing as best as they can. But they were wrong on many occasions, and I thought we were a little bit unlucky there. But having said that, City completely deserved the win. I'm being honest. I'm a realistic fan. And that brings me on to my next point. On Twitter, I was getting a lot of abuse today. And I'm not just saying, ha ha, Arsenal was shit kind of abuse. I mean personal abuse, like, people telling me that I should die and that I'm a fucking knob for supporting Arsenal and that I should get cancer and things like that. It's not funny, it's not. So when I tweeted out, oh come on guys, you need to grow up if you're insulting people because of a football result, that's the kind of stuff I meant. Obviously I can take a bit of, ha ha, Arsenal is shit. Oh, I had 6-3 to be an Arsenal fan, which doesn't even make sense. I guess sometimes it can get a little bit hectic on Twitter after football, especially when there's a result like today's. So that's to be expected, but I'm just hoping that if you're watching this video and you're someone who does tweet abuse to people, personal abuse, then maybe you should think about what you're doing, because I'll be the first to admit, on Twitter, as soon as Tottenham lose or Man United lose, I might tweet out a lol or oh, that's not a very good result for United, is it? I'm never insulting people personally. I just want to make sure. The other thing about being a realistic fan, I have not once said that Arsenal will win the league this year. Not once, and I still wouldn't have said that even if we won today. I think, had we won today's match and we beat Chelsea next week, then I guess you could start saying that Arsenal are definitely there. They're going to be in the top 3 guaranteed. But even then, it's a long season, and we're starting to get some of that fatigue that catches up with players when they're playing, twice a week, 3 times a week actually, I should say, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. It's a lot of travelling as well, being into to Naples during the week, and we have had a few tough fixtures lately, and our squad isn't massive. It's not like Man City's squad. It's not like some of the other squads around Europe where they've got so many good players that can come on. We don't really have that at Arsenal. It's better than it used to be, but the one place you've got to look at is our strikers. Giroud, for me, is a good player when he's in form. When he wants to play, he can be brilliant. But lately, I've been seeing, poor movement. I mean, no disrespect to Soldado. I know he did a very good job during the week with his hat-trick. But you've seen his heat maps on Twitter, I'm sure. They're pretty abysmal, and Giroud had a very similar one today. He basically touched the ball from kickoff, and then everywhere else it was just the odd header which wouldn't go to anyone. He had an absolutely awful game, Giroud, and I think sometimes you've got to look at your squad and think, is this team good enough to win a trophy, to win the league? I think our team is, if we bring in one more world-class player, and that for me has to be a striker. There's no 2 ways about it. Our defence is great. I mean, Koscielny, get well soon. That looked like an awful injury. I've seen the cut on his knee. It's pretty horrific, and I'm guessing he's out for at least, probably more than a month to 2 months, which is just a shame out of anything, because obviously he's been so good. And we've got Mertesacker, Sagna and Gibbs. You know, our defence is good. Chesney's been doing well recently. I know he conceded 6 goals today, but was he at fault in any of them? That's for you guys to decide. I don't think that we really need to do much else. Our midfield is arguably the best in the Premier League when they play well. It's just up front, we're just missing something. It was good to have Walcott back. I think he provided something that we haven't had over the last few weeks. Good to see him score. You know, he will help out the team, especially when we've got players like Wilshere having to play on the wing. And by the way, Wilshere was disappointing today, to say the least. And can't say I'm too impressed with him at the moment. So yeah, I'm pretty stressed out by it all, to be honest. It's not a nice feeling when your team lose, especially when you've got so much hope that they can continue staying at the top of the table. We would have been so much better off if we won this game today. But I think any team going to the Etihad this season will be happy to take a point. I don't think there's going to be anyone who will go there and nick 3 points. There is the possibility that United could go and get 3 points there again. Chelsea. Wait, I'm starting to try. I'm trying to think. Have anyone else been there? One of the top teams been there? It's out of my head now. Obviously, Tottenham went and lost 6-0, which we all laughed about. But now they've put 6 past Arsenal as well. So it's a difficult result to swallow. But we're still top of the league, and I'm not saying that we're going to stay there. I'm just saying we're still top of the league. We can afford to lose today's game, and we have, unfortunately. And technically, we could afford to lose against Chelsea because no doubt they'll drop points, and so will City in their rest of the season, like we will. But ideally, I think, guys, it's crunch time against Chelsea, and if we don't win that match, I think you're looking at a very long, hard end of the season. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this little vlog. I know it was a little quick one, although it probably lasted a lot longer. But yeah, thank you for watching. And hopefully next weekend Arsenal will do better.